Congressmen like Eric Swalwell are being held to account for major atrocities they allegedly committed against women, and none of this would be happening without Bari Weiss, CBS News, the Ellisons, and the new media taking control, wrestling it away from the legacies. Today we'll tell you what's going on and whether or not it's a Democrat dump out in California to try to stop somebody who was super hot in Hollywood. Ladies and gentlemen, we're diving deeper than ever before, and we're doing it for you. Click the like button, subscribe, and we'll talk today about what's happening behind the scenes in Hollywood as they aim their money in a new place. Politics are changing when it comes to Tinseltown. The new media is on the move, and the changes at CBS News are also having a big effect on what's going on in our society. What are we talking about? Well, check this out from CBS News. Quote, "We're not walking away from this fight." Two accusers of Congressman Eric Swalwell are sharing their accusations and decisions to come forward. Anika Albrecht, Ali Samarco, and influencer Cheyenne Hunt, who helped get their stories out, spoke exclusively with CBS News, now under the control of the Ellisons and Bari Weiss, spoke with CBS News' Nancy Cortez about the unraveling of the Democratic congressman's political career, who, as of just days ago, was promoted by so many in Hollywood. Now he's gone at the hands of the Ellisons, apparently, as they control CBS News. Here's part of that interview, and we'll talk about why things, they are a-changing in the world politico and entertainment because of the new media.
The fact that he has now dropped out of the governor's race and resigned from Congress, is that justice in your view?
No, it's just the beginning. It's just the very beginning. And I know personally that we're not walking away from this fight.
For me, justice won't be until he can't ever harm a woman ever again, and he has faced the consequences for the women that he has harmed.
I think in regards to the governor's race, he never should have ran for governor to begin with, knowing the kind of history and receipts that are out there.
We'll pause there, folks. This is on CBS News, of course, and this is the kind of thing that never, ever, ever happened. And you all can go back to the 90s and find times when it was unallowed. You could not put this out there in the news. CBS has now broken away with that. And of course, the new media has too. But lest you think, oh, here we go, it's going to be about politics. Folks, let me tell you, if we go over to Fox News right now, you can see that also Tony Gonzalez, a Republican, has been caught up in the misconduct allegations, and none of this is being swept under the rug. Now, there are those who claim that the reason this is going down the way it is because Swalwell was allegedly going to cause a loss for the Democrats in California, but whatever the case might be, there's transparency now in social media and on the news in a way that simply did not occur before. Marv, I want to go to you first talking about this one. We've got a situation here where the new media that we've been paying close attention to, it's been fractured to some degree, but at least here, it's doing a very good thing. And we're also starting to see the first movements by CBS to really differentiate itself. The Disneys of the world, the NBCs of the world, the CNNs of the world, even the Fox Newses of the world that might have covered for Gonzalez, they're unable to do so. Bari Weiss is breaking into that cycle and making it her own. Your thoughts, Marv?
Well, absolutely. What we're starting to see is actual unbiased news coverage, which is refreshing to see. You know, in my lifetime, I don't think we've ever had unbiased news coverage on a large scale, which is what we were always hoping, you know, that CBS News would become, because the free press was the closest thing we had to it. So yeah, the fact that they're not shying away from stories like this, the fact that they're not protecting the elite, the fact that they are, you know, actually taking people to task who deserve to be taken to task, I think that's to be commended. Because, you know, I mean, this guy, I mean, like this was like the epitome of like, why would you do this knowing that there's all of this out there? It's because you think you're untouchable. It's like the Nixon thing, right? Like why would you have those recordings? Whereas, yeah, like, and with the legacy media as it was, he probably would have been untouchable with this. But the new media blew this off the shelves, and we are seeing actual comeuppance. I mean, they were like, there's like video evidence, right?
I think it's likely there is, and that there's more on the way, is what I'm understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
yeah.
Allegedly, right? Hey, Ryan, go ahead.
Allegedly.
Ryan, what do you think about in terms of how this affects Hollywood? Because he was running for the governorship And a lot of people were really worried this was going to come out after the Democratic primaries. And I know that in California, the top two go no matter what side they're on. But there was a lot of worry that he was going to cause a Republican to be a formidable force in California. How does this shake up Hollywood in the way that they're viewing everything?
Well, yeah, and this is exactly why this is happening right now, right? Like, you have to understand, California, a state I just left a few months ago, by the way, born and raised in L.A., but couldn't take it anymore, man. Gavin Newsom destroyed the state, so moved to Colorado. But they're holding on by a string, right? And I'm talking about the Democratic leadership. They're holding on by a string. This would have caused a divide that would have resulted in a Republican winning. That's the only reason they're going after this guy. That's the only reason we're even hearing about Swalwell, is because of that reason. If it wasn't for that, they wouldn't care, or it would have gotten buried. But they cannot have a Republican be, in charge of California, right? Because California has to stay a sanctuary state no matter what. No matter what. See, Gavin Newsom can destroy the economy all he wants, as far as the left is concerned out there. But the minute it stops being a sanctuary state for illegals and women who want to either kill or, abuse their children, then they're fine with that, right? So anything that contradicts that has to go. And Swalwell, look, I'm not saying he's a good guy. He probably is a scumbag. I'm sure he is. Here's the thing. Most politicians are, right? So what separates him from any other politician? But this came out purely for that reason, to stop him from messing with the Democrats staying in charge.
That's a great point. And if we look at this, and it's actually scrolled down where, let's see if we can get this. This came out 1 minute ago. We're really breaking some news right now. 1 minute ago, this came out. Woman accuses Swalwell of more of that kind of awful activity in 2018. Now, Jonas, here's the question we've all got as we're looking at these accusations coming in, and there were accusations, credible accusations against this guy that he was sleeping with a Chinese spy. Everybody has known this guy is awful. He's totally corrupt, and we're not even talking about the legalities yet. But the question is, if this is going back to 2018 and far beyond that, how long was this known? And because we didn't have Elon owning X, and because we didn't have Barry Weiss running CBS News, none of this was ever going to be allowed. While at the same time, they were virtue signaling to us, oh, we've got the Me Too movement. Oh, Hollywood's been cleaned up. Oh, we're the moral arbiters you need to listen to. Meanwhile, it was only by wresting control of the legacy media and the new media from them that we started uncovering this stuff. What do you think about it, Jonas?
I'm actually more the inclination that this is a political hit job by the Democrats more than it is for the Republicans or the free speech aspect, because the Fang stuff has been out there for a very long time. The kind of thing that would absolutely destroy a conservative politician if it was out there on a regular basis. It would be well known that person is just being protected. That's really the thing with Swalwell is we've been waiting for verification from the media and those in power to say, yes, it's okay for this guy to be ashamed of himself at this point. The CBS News aspect is one thing, but Nancy Pelosi coming out and not saying, obviously, this is ridiculous, or some of the other high-powered Democrats coming after. This is something where I don't know that he's the sacrificial lamb in order to appease the media as much as he has gotten on the wrong side of the wrong people, and they just want him out. And so all of a sudden you have this permission from the establishment to say, yeah, go ahead, go after this guy. We are done with him.
Well, just so everybody knows that these are really, really awful people that we cover on a regular basis. We hate to say it, but it's true. Take a look at this. We've got the New York Post reporting. Eric Swalwell's A-list pals rocked after plowing thousands into failed campaign. Annie Gauss writing this from New York Post. Get ready for the names, because they're going to be the people that you've all heard from over and over and over. They're the best. They know better than you. Eric Swalwell loved rubbing elbows with Hollywood's woke elite. In return, they opened up their wallets and backed his campaign for California governor. Begs the question, if he had not run for governor, would he even be dealing with this? Maybe not. It says Swalwell's celebrity supporters included genuine A-listers like Sean Penn, Robert De Niro, Jane Fonda. Penn, an outspoken lefty and frequent Trump critic, handed Swalwell's campaign a cool $15,000. The Godfather and Casino star Robert De Niro pitched $10,000. Mad Men's John Hamm and Two and a Half Men actor John Cryer did the same. My, oh my. Talking about the White Lotus director, David Bernard, producer, threw in $20,000. You've got Kathy Griffin giving $10,000. All of these people were giving massive money. These same people who tell you that you're a bad person for the way you vote, they were giving tens of thousands to a guy now that we are finding out may have, and by all evidences, seems to have conducted himself in just egregiously bad ways towards women. I don't think Robert De Niro is going to come out and give us an apology. What do you guys think?
No, absolutely not. What's going to happen? What's going to happen is their PR people are going to, type up a statement. They're going to shy away from it. They're going to disappear for a little while, as far maybe a month or two, just not being very public about it. They're going to wait till this washes over, and then what they're going to do is they're going to pretend this never happened, and they're going to back the next Democratic person running. So they all have their exit strategies out of this, right? So again, it doesn't really matter. And also, by the way, 10 grand, 20 grand, these people must have, they must have not really believed in this guy, because that is a small amount of money.
That's nothing to them.
That is nothing to them. That's like me giving like $5 to the Starbucks guy. It's
right.
Come on now. Like I don't think they really believed in this guy to begin with, if I'm being honest.
What I don't know is, that's a fantastic point, but I don't know what the limits are on political giving at this stage in California. I don't know the intricacies there, so I don't know. It depends
on, like, if it's a corporation, that there's limits. I think if it's like people, like personal, like people giving their own personal money, I don't know if there's like a huge limit on that. I could be completely wrong.
Well, what gets tricky, and we found this out, there was something to do with Oprah. What was that about, Jonas, back when Oprah was in? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I forget which candidate it was that she said that she never donated to someone, but it was her corporation.
Right. So a lot of these celebrities, when it says they've donated 10, 20,000, it's their LLCs that'll donate, something like that.
Sure,
so who knows?
Of course.
Yeah. So it's interesting to see that Hollywood seemingly liked this guy, right? And it turns out he's just vile. If it was not for the new media, if it was not for Barry Weiss and the Ellisons, though, we would know little about this, unless it is, as Jonas believes, and it seems like the other panelists too, that this is a hit job against poor Eric Swalwell.
But also, by the way, don't forget, all of the celebrities you just named off all have pictures hugging Harvey Weinstein somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Meryl Streep called him a god.
Yeah.
I'm just going to point out another instance in which all of Hollywood was 100% aware of what was going on, and suddenly they cared.
Oh, absolutely, man. Look, I have said this over and over, and I make no apologies for it, man. The few times I've hung out with Harvey, I hung out with him 3 times, all in public situations, of course. And to me, just hanging out with the guy, talking and having drinks with him, seemed like a nice guy, right? Like, I didn't know. I heard rumors of some things, but dude, you hear rumors about producers and young starlets with everybody. I mean, that's
right. If you had boobs, this would have gone otherwise, I think.
Probably so. but my point is that, look, man, like, just because you know somebody or you've hung out with them doesn't mean you know everything that they've done, or you know what I mean. So I give a little leeway to some of that. It's you never know who you're hanging out. I've been to Diddy parties, man, before midnight. Okay, I left before midnight. I've been to parties with Diddy, and it's like, look, I didn't know that all that shit was going on after midnight, right? Like, I didn't know. I went and left. So you never, just because you're there and you're around this person doesn't mean you know everything that's happening with them.
Exactly. That's definitely true. However, you got to say, they seem to over and over again pick the wrong horse when it comes to Hollyweird. Folks, we'll pay attention to this. Sure. We'll let you know what happens. This is going to have an impact on the entertainment industry, especially as it affects the governor's race, and what will happen when it comes to how do they turn around the film industry in California.
You know, we really hope that you felt this video was satisfactual. We know we had an actual good time participating and communicating with each and every one of you out there listening. It is a great honor. It is a great pleasure, even a responsibility to do this on a daily basis. You give us the dream job we love doing, and for that we can never say thank you enough. There's only one small favor we ask beyond what has already been done, and that is, folks, consider it. That is clicking the like button. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to those pesky algorithms. It's the notification bell, and drop a comment right on down below. Let us know your thoughts, because your thoughts do indeed matter, no matter what the mainstream media would otherwise say. Folks, as we say every single time we end these videos, because we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.